Hi mums, we are sorry for that. There were some technical issues and we just went off line for some time. But we are back again, and again we are continuing with our live discussions and the live chat that we were having earlier. So, as I said earlier, this page was basically created only to make sure that mothers always get this feeling that there is someone besides them taking care of them and guiding them. That was the main objective behind it. So I can see now that there is a question coming from Barkha. She says that my baby is 1 year old. Which fruits and vegetables are best for her? Well, Barkha, we say that at 1 year of age, your baby is ready to take all the foods that your rest of your family is having. So if you had started with the right kind of weaning at about 6 months of age by introducing single foods, then by this age your baby should be able to eat all the fruits and vegetables, because your baby's internal immune system is well as adjusted or is ready to accept all different kinds of foods. So you can name it, and any food, be it apple, pear, fruits, everything the baby can take. So even regarding the vegetables, you can start with greens, but just make sure that when you start with any food for the first time, just give very small amount. Wait for 1 or 2 days and see how the baby's system reacts to it. If the baby is well tolerating it, then you can start adding different types of fruits and vegetables into baby's diet. I hope that's fine with you. Well, we had a question from Aditi when there was some technical failure and we were offline for some time. The question said that Aditi was asking that my baby is still not showing any signs of teething. I'm worried, so please tell me, when will teething start? From your previous question, Aditi, I can make out that your baby is 5 months old and there is no signs of teething, and you are worried about that. Well, the thing is that teething gets started by about 6 to 9 months. During this time, any time the baby can show the signs of teething. And it's a matter of concern if by 16 months of age, if the baby doesn't show any signs of teething. So that is the time when we can suggest that you must consult your doctor and get your baby examined. But right now everything is fine, there is nothing to worry. But if you're still so anxious and still so much concerned about your baby's teething, then what I can say is that just pass your clean index finger around baby's gums or teeth. And in case if you feel any kind of swelling, or if the baby, or any kind of imperfections around the gums, then there are chances that the baby will soon start teething. Hi Swati, we have a question now from Swati Sandeep Saini. Hello, how are you? My baby is 6.5 months old. So tell me Swati, how can we help you? If you have any question, please do let us know. Hope your baby is doing well and you're enjoying this beautiful time with your baby. I would say that first year is a little tough, but this is again one of the most beautiful times when you get to see so many new things that your baby is coming up with, new milestones being achieved. You see your baby starts crawling, your baby starts teething, your baby then starts to stand alone or starts standing with support. So these are some of the beautiful moments. I'll just tell all the moms, prepare a beautiful book for your baby and start taking pictures at all these milestones and start making a beautiful book for your baby. Okay, so Swati is saying that, hello ma'am, my baby is 6.5 months old. From last month, she's having loose motion and she was admitted to hospital for 5 days. After that, she recovered for a few days, but now again loose motion has started. She's very weak now. What do we do? I'm really worried. Please help. Before I start answering, I'm really sorry to hear about your baby's health. It's really sad to see a baby falling sick and that to being admitted to hospital at this age of life. But okay, that is part of life, that's part of growing up. You must have, when your baby was admitted to the hospital, the doctor must have told you the cause or the reason for it. It could be either allergic reaction or any kind of bacterial or viral infection coming from food or any other source which has caused this kind of loose motion, and that is why the baby was admitted to hospital. So baby is admitted to a hospital mainly for the reason, first is for treating the infection, and secondly the chances of dehydration in young babies is very common. So that's another reason that the doctors do not take any risk or any chance and they admit the baby immediately to the hospital. Now since the child has recovered and since again showing loose motions, chances are that your baby's digestive system is still very weak. So that could be the reason that the baby is again started getting loose motion. What I would advise now is that please consult your doctor, speak to him, tell him the exact condition of your child as to how many times the child is passing motion, and if the need be, the doctor may put the baby again onto any medication. And if you have already started with the solids, we can only advise that foods like mashed banana in very small amount, mashed potato, boiled, mashed, cooked potato, or even apple puree, they work as very good binding agents and can control the indigestion or the loose motions that the baby is suffering from. Plus, one more thing I would like to advise is that if you are breastfeeding, please continue with breastfeeding, because breast milk will help to make the baby strong, plus will help the baby to fight against any kind of infection also, and will boost our baby's immunity. So all the best and hope speedy recovery for your baby, and do not worry, please. Okay, so looking at this question, Aditi has come back with another question saying that she's also saying that my baby keeps falling sick very frequently. Is that his immunity is low, and can food helps to make her strong? Well, Aditi, I would like to say that babies are always born with little bit of, we say, underdeveloped or not fully developed immune system. And because the immune system is not fully developed, so it becomes, as a mother, it becomes your responsibility or your duty to boost our baby's immunity. And breast milk is the best way to boost our baby's immunity, number one. So if you are breastfeeding, continue with breastfeeding, because that will help to boost up, and that's what we told Swati also. And if since the baby is 5 months old and you have not started with solids, I cannot recommend any solids at this stage. But if you start with solids after some time, then the foods, as I mentioned to Swati also, like mashed banana or mashed apple puree, these are the first feeds, and they are also the binding foods which will help to bind the motions and keep the baby's digestion in a good state. Okay, so and one more thing is that if your baby is falling sick, I can only suggest that kindly check on your baby's environment. If there is any kind of dust, smoke or pets, then these can also cause allergic reactions, and that can make baby fall sick again and again. So please make sure that baby's environment, surroundings are all clean, and all the foods that are prepared for the baby are in very clean and hygienic conditions. Any other question coming up from any other mom? Please do let me know. And any other concerns if you have about foods, what type of foods to start with at different ages, different type of recipes, different type, even if you have some recipe in your mind and you want me to modify that recipe for you, or to help you make that recipe well suited for your baby, I'm here to help you out in every way that you want. No, Aditi, it is absolutely fine. You have not taken my time, but feel free if you have any more questions coming up. Just feel free and just ask questions. Don't say sorry about that. I can fully understand what you are going through. And this is all mums who are on the page right now. They can also agree on this, that we all go through this tough time, and we are always worried, even if a small bite or a small cry of the child makes a mother, concerned and worried as to why my baby is crying, or what has happened to my baby. So we understand that. So don't feel sorry, or don't say sorry about that. Yes, moms, anything else? And Swati, I hope my answer was sufficient enough. Anything else coming up, to let me know. I would just like to say that just want to know that Aditi, from where are you? Which part of, are you from India or are you from outside India? Because we have a lot of moms from Middle East also who are on the page. So Just tell me from which part. Are you from India? Are you from outside India? And if you are from India, then which part of India are you from? Also, if any other mother wants to share anything else, Aditi, if you want to share some of your other experiences with us, do let us know. And in fact, we had a very good response when we had posted a question on brainy foods and smart foods, and we got a lot of good responses and got questions on that. And I was quite pleased to see the eagerness of the mums to know more about brainy foods. So, anything else if you want to know about if you're breastfeeding, anything issues related to breastfeeding, if you have started with formula feed, if there is anything else coming from formula feed. So here we see a question coming from Heba. The question is from Heba Mustafa. Hi Heba. She writes, my baby is 1 month baby, breastfed in addition to formula twice per day. Formula was introduced because baby lost 16% of his weight in the first week after birth. Can mom withdraw formula? Should mom do it gradually, one feed at a time? Well, Heba, this is a very good question that you have asked. Firstly, I would like to say that the babies lose some weight in the first 10 days of their life. This is something very normal, and this happens with all babies, not just with your baby. Secondly, you said that the baby was introduced to formula. That must have been the advice of your doctor. So, okay, you had introduced formula, that's fine. But normally I or other nutritionists do not advise to start formula so soon, and you always say that there should be exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life. Early introduction of formula can reduce the breast milk supply and can also make baby refuse the breast. So that is why early introduction of formula is not advised. But if you have already started with formula milk, then I would suggest that if you can gradually start withdrawing the formula and put baby only onto breast milk and continue with exclusive breastfeeding for at least first 6 months of life. That is my advice to you. Here we get another question now from Khushbu. Hi Khushbu. The question is, I will take your full name. It's Khushbu Nankani. Hello ma'am, my baby is 11 months old. How much of cow's milk should I give him? Well, Khushbu, I would like to suggest that as per American Academy of Pediatrics, cow's milk should not be started before 1 year of age. Starting cow's milk before 1 year of age can result in intestinal bleeding, can cause indigestion, and can cause some severe reactions. So it's always advised that if you're not able to breastfeed your baby, then start with formula milk. The formula milk that you go with should be fortified. Please stop with that, which is fortified with DHA, that is a healthy fat that would be written on the box itself, and also with iron, because then it will be closest to the breast milk. But if you have started with cow's milk, then I can only suggest that be very careful and also offer only 4 to 5 milk feeds made up of 150 to 175 ml in a day. And if you're planning to start with cow's milk, then I would say do not start with cow's milk, but start with formula milk first. Right? Okay, now here we have a question from Baraka. Okay, Baraka, sorry, we have answered to your question. I'm sorry about that. So we have a question from Heba again. Heba Mustafa asking, my kids are 4 and 6 years old, don't like veggies at all. I cook meat with veggies and pour some soup on their rice and nutrients or vitamins from veggies in the soup. But it's a very common thing, and very common concern of most of the moms that babies do not like vegetables at all. Babies usually do not like vegetables for a number of reasons. One of them is that if veggies were not introduced at an early age of life, then babies take very long time to develop a liking for vegetables. Number two is that vegetables as such have a little bland taste. So that's another reason that babies do not like vegetables. So what you can do is at this age offer vegetables in the form of finger foods. Like for example, if baby's favorite food is, let's say, pizza, then rather than offering pizza with meat or chicken on it, try to add a lot of vegetables onto it. Then also if you're making any kind of sandwiches for baby with chicken and meat, try to add vegetables into that, add some cheese greens to it so that the actual taste of the flavor of the vegetables can be masked and the baby still get a good amount of vegetables. Also adding, giving soups. Soups have little bit of nutrients. I would not say that they are very rich in vegetables. Soups will have some amount of vegetables and some amount of nutrition, but do not depend only on soups as a major source of vegetables. Different times, like different types of cutlets, different types of sandwiches, even when you're making eggs for the baby. In all these types of foods, add vegetables in such a form that the baby accepts the food easily, and offer it more as a finger food. That is the best way in which the baby can accept it. Heba, I would like to ask one question. Where are you from? Are you from Egypt or you're from any other Middle Eastern country? Let us know. It is nice knowing you. And nice to see you on the page. Even for I would like to say something to the mothers who have young babies that even when you start with introducing vegetables to the child's diet, it may so happen that the baby may refuse vegetables. This is something very common or very commonly seen that babies refuse, because babies are used to have sweet food. Breast milk is naturally sweet, and then you start with rice cereal, which is a little bit sweet. Then you start with fruit purees, which are again sweet in taste. So the moment you start with vegetables, because they have bland taste, the baby's the first reaction would be that he will refuse the vegetables. So this is something very common thing. That does not mean that the baby doesn't like the vegetable. He's not liking the taste of it mainly because it is bland. So you have to make it tasty. How do you make it tasty? As I was telling Heba, if your baby is 8 or 9 months of age, adding some grated cheese on top of it and offering the veggies to the baby, mixing it with some fruit purees and then giving it to the baby, mixing it with rice and then giving it like some dal or lentils or something like that, mixing veggies into that and then giving it to the baby. These are different ways. For Indian mothers who are very fond of making rotis or parathas, I would say that from 1 year of age, start adding some veggies into the atta and then knead the atta and make rotis or parathas. That's another way of offering vegetables to the baby. So don't worry, but at the same time, I would always request all the moms who are on the page, do not force feed your baby. Whether it is if he's eating less or not eating a certain food, do not force feed. Babies are born with their own unique and distinct likes and dislikes. You cannot say that I love potatoes or I love spinach, so my baby should also be liking. Your baby is an individual, has his own identity, has his own separate likes and dislikes. So baby may like spinach, may not like spinach. Maybe at a later age, baby may not like spinach. So this is all fine. So give baby some time to develop his own taste and his own likes and his own dislikes. Okay? So give due respect to your baby's likes and dislikes. Anything else coming up with any other mothers or anything else that you would like to know? Anything that is concerning you? Because we're coming to an end of this live chat. And while coming to an end of this live chat, I would like to just say that I would like to thank all the mothers. You have been giving me a lot of support. We are now 11,000, more than 11,000 mothers strong. So, and we have to build up this page. We have to make it strong and stronger day by day. I enjoyed this live session, and we are going to have more live sessions more often. And hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And our future plans for this page are, number one is I would like to have a lot of feedback from you. I would like to know what are the topics that interest you, what things do you want us to do on the page. We are also planning to have some activities with the moms. Like, for instance, something like coffee mornings with the moms, and I sit down together and we can have some informal chats and some discussions on baby health. We can even pick up one topic and discuss it out on that. This is one of the future plans that we have in our mind. Another thing which we have it in my mind is to launch something like an ebook, which will be discussing different types of ebooks on various topics, and then discussing this with the moms. And if you have any ideas or anything else that you want us to start with, do let us know. Also, another small request is please share this page with other friends to let them also know about this page so that we can have a stronger, beautiful, and better community on Nutri Baby Care. Thank you, moms.